Hello and welcome back to another session of the LPE Author Chat Series. I am Kimberly K. LaBoo, CEO and founder of LaBoo Publishing Enterprise. Today, as a part of our special Anthology Edition of the LPE Author Chat Series, we have an author with us, Sandra Mizell Chaney, who has written a chapter in Set Apart and Chosen. God uses ordinary women to do extraordinary things. Sandra Chaney, compelling change agent, nonprofit strategist, and grant specialist, best-selling author, coach, and national speaker, is on a global assignment to help women live and love beyond their titles, be more than their businesses and ministries, and to transform their lives to manifest the mission they were created to bring forth. The wind beneath her wings is from her loving and faithful husband, Kevin Chaney, and the pulse of her heart, Maurice Dews, her son. Sandra lives her life by this motto: everything I do, say, and offer the world will come from a deep place of love. I love that. Welcome to the broadcast, Sandra Mizell Chaney.
Thank you. Finally.
Yes, finally. Technology at its finest, right?
Yes. Gotta love
Always.
technology.
Yes, always a challenge. But you're here, and I am so happy to have you with us today.
I'm happy to be here.
Yeah. So you are one of 20 women in the anthology, Set Apart and Chosen. God uses ordinary women to do extraordinary things. And your chapter title in the book is called Time to Tell the Truth. I love it. Time to tell the truth. She's like, we're the real Sandra Mizell Chaney. Please stand up.
Please.
Please.
Yes.
So first, I want to ask you what I've asked the other authors first, is what made you say yes to this project?
So when I saw you do a Facebook Live, the title alone, Set Apart and Chosen, hit me. It at the core. And
Wow.
I kept going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I'm going, she's talking to me. But I just finished the book. I don't want to write anymore. But she's talking to me.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, God, I need to go ahead and do this because the title alone for me, that's what did it. It was the title.
Yeah. Wow. That's awesome. Well, I'm so happy you said yes, despite the fact that you had just finished one. Because your story in this book, wow, like I was moved by so many things in your chapter because there were several things in it that I could relate to. And in the first part of it, you were talking about the lie that you were living and the fear that kept you in a trapped place. And so I want to share just a little bit of that, where you said, fear kept me in a trapped place. Even though I was accomplished, had a great job, drove a nice car, owned my home, I was still hiding. And then you said, you went on in that chapter to write that fear had you thinking that your life was not worth anything and that everyone would be better off without you. And you actually attempted suicide. So just reading your chapter was like, oh, so gripping. And, I know this bright and vibrant and, wonderful Sandra, and to read about all that you have experienced and, recognize some places in myself, like, because we've all worn the mask, right?
Yes.
We've all worn the mask at some point in our lives. And still, a lot of people are still wearing the mask.
Yes.
So without giving like everything away, I want you to tell us about your mask. What was the lie that you were telling yourself?
So the lie for me, I was pretending that I understood who I really was. That was the lie. Like when I say, "Will the real Sandra Chaney please stand up?" I literally am like, who am I? I pretended to be everything that everybody else said that I was, except for who I really was.
Yeah.
I didn't know that person. I really didn't know me outside of being a mother, being a divorcee, being someone who had come through domestic violence, not only through childhood, but marriage. That's what I knew. But I worked in corporate America, and people saw me as strong, and they saw me, as this vibrant woman. And I should have been in Hollywood because
Girl, me too at one point.
because people actually said, "Oh my God, I want to be like you," and I would go home every day crying and being alone and having to raise a child by myself, and
Yeah.
people not understanding that. So the lies to me was, I'm pretending to be all those things, and I'm not. I'm pretending to love me, to love that woman or that people, when I really don't, because I don't even know how to love myself.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, I'm telling you. So this is so many people's story right here. That's why I was like, this is going to resonate with so many people. Um, wow. So you moved, so you started writing about the fear,
Mm-hmm.
and then you wrote about acknowledging the truth. You wrote about acknowledgement.
Mm-hmm.
So in that you wrote, for a long time, I was giving from an empty cup and I did not even realize it. I pretended to be this strong, loving, corporate, had it all together woman, when all the while I was living a life of rejection, depression, and loneliness with a heart full of secrets and shame. So, wow. So tell us, what was the turning point for you that made you say, I need to acknowledge this truth?
Um. So and I don't even know if I even wrote this in the book, but one of the turning points for me was when I lost some major friends. And
Mm,
I lost those major friends because of not knowing who I am, not understanding true, authentic sisterhood, and
mm,
just wanting to just like have, I just wanted to be a part of something so much that
yeah.
hurt people.
Mm, yes, they do. That's
And
that's the truest statement ever. Yeah.
and you know, God will allow things to come to a head.
Hmm.
And so at this point in my life, I had several times when things came to a head. Taking my life was the first, or what attempting to take my life was the first one. That
Wow.
started on me on my trajectory of getting myself together. But then when you think you have it all together, you stop getting it together.
Yes, true.
That was the
True.
first turning point for me because I'm a mom.
Mhm.
And at that point in my life, I did have some women who I thought were my friends, but finding out that they really were not my friends was really
Mhm.
hard. And then going, you know what? If I don't have friends, I don't even think I'm a good mother. What is the point of being here? That's how
Wow.
I thought.
Yeah.
Seriously. Like, what's the point? So that really was the beginning for me, because when that happened, then that started me on the journey of some healing.
Mm. Yeah, so and you wrote in here about the fact that you only allowed people to come just so far into your world, that you were afraid that they were going to see the real you and
Yes.
you would be rejected all over again.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
powerful. Wow. And
So I
so
put
you
a
kind
wall
of
up. I had a wall.
put a wall up and you're pushing people away and they don't know why, but it's
Nope.
a part of the things that you're going through. Man,
Yes.
this chapter is like is so much truth in it, and just it connects on so many levels. Um, so you touched on forgiveness in here too. Hmm. Let's see. You said when you have not truly healed the wounds of your past, forgiven self and others, you will continue to bleed into your destiny. Gosh, what do you mean by that? Tell us what you meant by that.
So I didn't recognize, because okay, so I'm a New Yorker. I'm from Brooklyn. I have to say that, right? I'm from Brooklyn, and so it's one of those things where, you know what? If you do me wrong, I'm done with you.
Wow.
Forgiveness wasn't even a thing for me. It's like
Mhm.
out of sight, out of mind. What I didn't recognize was I was carrying so much. So it wasn't just from adulthood. We're talking things that happened to me high school, going back. I was
Mhm.
carrying all those things. So for me, it what people don't realize is what's on the inside comes out. So
Mhm.
if you are carrying
True.
a bunch of unforgiveness, if you're carrying a bunch of anger, if you're carrying all these things, you think, well, that's just how I am. I'm just to the point, da 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 da. When really,
Yeah.
no, you have some hurt And the
Yeah.
help is coming out in different ways. It's coming out even in how you react to people, how you respond to them, or if they say something and they look at you like, all I said was good morning.
Right. How you struck a nerve with that, right?
I mean, seriously. And then look at
Yeah.
you like, are you okay today? So bleeding and not understanding that that was affecting everything else in my life.
Wow.
Affecting me hearing God clearly,
Mhm.
affecting me understanding my true purpose,
Yeah.
my legacy, affecting all of that because I'm carrying so much in my system that I really had to rid myself up. And I'm still on the journey.
Yes.
And believe I'm still on that journey.
We all are. We
Yes.
all are. Wow. I mean, your chapter was just so deep and like so impactful when I was reading it. And you had so many like nuggets in here. Like one of them was new life begins where the pain first started. It's like you got to go back and pluck that thing up, right? In
Yes.
order to begin that healing process. And I think a lot of people miss that step when they're
Yes.
trying to heal. It's like, no, you got to go back there. Sorry,
Yeah,
you have
you
to go
do.
back there.
You can't skip that part. I
Can't
mean,
skip
it
it.
may have been childhood, but you have to go back there and deal with it. You have
Hmm.
to dig it up because
Yeah,
it will continue to keep rotting and keep bleeding. And so I
yeah,
had to go way back. I had no
yeah,
choice.
yeah. Wow. So you said attempting suicide was my cry for help. I did not know how to ask for help. It was easier to pretend. And then you said, my cup was completely empty. God sent me several lifelines. However, my ego, the flesh, was louder than the voice of God. My God.
Yep.
Wow.
Much
Wow.
louder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I couldn't hear.
Hmm.
Because I was all about the status quo.
Hmm.
I was all about how
Man.
people were going to, perceive me.
Yeah.
If I was vulnerable, if I said I needed
Mhm.
help because everybody said I was so strong. So how is it that
Yes.
I'm strong and now I'm saying I need your help? The two
Yeah.
did not go together.
Nope. Nope. I've
And
been there. Yeah, because
so
it's like when you are the one that's holding everybody else up,
yes,
who do you turn to? Like you said, when your cup is depleted.
yes, my
Yeah.
cup was depleted, but I still had to be strong for everybody else.
Everybody else. Yeah. Or so we tell ourselves.
Well, yes, you're right. So we tell
Yes.
ourselves.
Yes. Oh, let's see. You talked about forgiving. You said forgiving me was paramount and part of my healing process. In order to forgive myself, I had to share my story with myself. That's that truth moment, right?
Yep. I had to get in
Wow.
the mirror and
Yep.
actually literally look in the mirror. People don't do that. We get in the mirror, brush our teeth. So like I had to look in the soles of my eyes and
Yes.
really tell myself the
Yeah.
truth about myself.
Wow.
All of it. Even from people that I hurt, because hurt people hurt
Hurt
people.
people, hurt people. Hurt. Wow. Guys, this is a broadcast that you want to share. So if you haven't shared it yet, please share it because this is the story of so many women, and in particular, so many Black women who are like that strong. You got to be that strong Black woman. And sometimes we're doing ourselves a whole hill of damage trying to uphold that persona and just wrecking ourselves in the process. So
Mm.
I mean, I commend you for your truth in this book. Like you went there, like you, it's just so much truth in it. And so I just applaud you for that. And so I want to ask you, what was it like for you to write this chapter? Because it is really deep and impactful. So what was it like for you to write it?
I actually shed some tears. I actually
Mm.
almost was gonna email you and say, I don't know, Kimberly.
Wow, really?
Yes, because it took me back and
Mhm.
to some things that I actually thought I had healed. And what I recognize is that there are layers to things. And I forget that there are layers to things. And I'm going, okay, I'm about to put this in this book, but it is time to tell the truth. It's time to just let it go. But I can't keep holding stuff, and I'm peeling back layers. And I said, it's not just for me; it's for other people. So
Yep.
it was very. I think one day I had a headache.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know if I really want to continue this, and I'm like, you know what? Um, yeah, Set apart and chosen. There's a reason why she named it, or God gave me that title.
Yes.
There's a reason. And so I said, I need to write the story, not just only for my healing, but for others. But I think it was more so for me to
Mm-hmm.
tell my truth,
Yeah.
for me to be okay with this is my story.
Yeah.
And it's not good, bad, or ugly. It just is.
It just is.
It just is. And there are lessons I learned from it. I'm a better person because of it. And it was, at the end, it was cathartic. And that's probably
Wow.
why, I kept forgetting to send you stuff, because I did, because I was just like discombobulated a little bit with the story. It discombobulated and threw me off track a little bit, but it's okay.
Yeah.
It really is okay, because I'm better for writing it than
Mhm.
not.
Wow. Amen. Thank you for saying that. Wow. I always talk about the fact, and you probably hear me say it in every broadcast, that there is healing through writing. It's something about writing your story out that you, like you said, it's levels to that thing. And you will think that you're over something. And when you start writing about it, it's like, oh, wow, I got to go deal with that. Right. And it only makes you better.
Yes.
It only makes you better and
Yes.
stronger and,
Yes.
and, and more available for God to use you fully.
And
Oh,
what it also showed me was that your strength is in vulnerability. That's where the strength
yes,
lies.
yes,
It
yeah,
doesn't lie in holding it and not speaking your truth or saying, I need help. It
right.
really lies in you being vulnerable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Man, so good. I like this one too. So I'm not giving the whole guys. This chapter is like power packed. So you're just gonna have to get the book, read it. But you said this is the last thing I'm giving away. The last nugget I'm giving away. You said at every elevation in my life, I had to release what no longer served me. Man, don't some
Mhm.
people need to let some stuff go
Yes.
that's no longer serving them?
But I had to make the choice.
Yes,
See,
it's a choice.
it's a choice. It's not going
Mhm.
to just magically go away. I
Yeah.
had to literally say, okay, I'm ready to let this go.
Yeah.
Because health wise, it's not serving me. Emotionally, it's not serving me. And it's definitely
Yeah.
not serving my family. So I have to make the choice to let it go. And if I want God to use me to fulfill my purpose, I got to drop some weight.
Wow. Say that.
I have to drop some weight. That means I gotta let that mess go. Because guess
Yeah.
what? Those people that I think that hurt me, they have gone on. They're doing whatever they need to do.
Not
And
thinking about you.
no, and so I have to let it go. And even my own shame, letting that go.
Yep.
I think the tap, because that's the piece that we carry. We carry so much shame as women.
Yes. Yeah, we carry some baggage. We walk around looking like bag ladies. I'm telling you, we can carry some stuff, man. We got the guilt, the shame, we got all kinds of bag. We even got the carry on, and
Oh
you
God.
take it around with you. You
The
carrying it
carry
around
on
with
sometimes is
you.
the anger, though. Sometimes the
Yes.
carry on is the anger, and we're so angry. And then my question to myself was one day, as I was writing this chapter, was who am I angry at?
Wow.
What am I angry at? Because I don't have to be. I don't have
Mm.
to be. I can just let this go. And so for me, writing, that's why I said it was cathartic, because
Yeah.
I can let it go. I can share it with the world in hopes that somebody else can let
Yep.
theirs go.
Yeah. Absolutely. Wow. Yeah, 'cause I always say that the things that we go through, they are not really for us. They're not even about us. They are for somebody else.
Hmm.
So once we recognize that, we can begin to let it go. You know?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Oh man,
Release.
delicious.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
So why don't you tell us what does the writing process look like for you? So is it a certain time of day, a certain place you go? Do you use a voice recorder, write on paper? Do you type? What does that look like for you?
I do both. I write on paper and
Mhm.
I do type, but I schedule me on my calendar.
Oh wow. Okay.
I schedule time on my calendar to write. because it makes it easier because, I put everything else on my calendar. Why not put me on there? So I put, maybe an hour. So I may do an hour and don't go past that hour. So I'm not overwhelming myself.
Mm-hmm.
And if I go past it, okay, but I'll say an hour and then I'll take a break and go do something else.
Yeah.
Like I'm scheduling a meeting. So and then for me, where I live, I'm a nature girl. So I can see trees and things like that. So I'll open up my blinds or the curtains, let the sun in to see the trees, and I'll just sit. Yeah. I like incense and candles, so I like that. For me to set an atmosphere of just being in a relaxed mode so that I can hear God.
Wow. That's all. Yeah. Atmosphere is everything, because it just opens up your mind to things that you weren't even thinking about before, and you start realizing things. And so I love that. I love that. I think atmosphere is very important when you're trying to write. So good point there. So what advice would you give to those who are contemplating writing?
Do it. I mean, seriously, if there's a book in you, you should do it, because number one, somebody needs it. Somebody needs your voice. Yeah. Somebody needs this is your footprint in the earth. This is
wow, I love that.
Yes, this is a footprint. This is also your legacy. Somebody's going to be reading this book for years to come.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to need to hear that story. So it's not about you. It is certainly about the people, the tribe that are attached to you. It is about your children's children. So you have to write the book. And it also will set you free. Because if you're writing about your story, it will set you free. Because guess what? Can anybody tell your story like you can tell your story?
Exactly.
And once it's out there, they can read the book. They can tell it seriously. They can't jack it up. They can't do anything because you put it out there yourself.
Yes. Right. Right. They can't blackmail you.
No, they can't They can't blackmail you. They can't do anything.
I already told it.
Right. They can't even talk. I mean, they can talk about you, but guess what? I talked about myself already.
There you go.
But I would say it is your unique footprint, and people need to know that. They need to hear from you in your voice.
Absolutely. I agree 1000%. That is awesome. Wow. So tell the people who have showed up, because we have lots of viewers on, we have a whole lot of comments in there. Tell people where they can purchase the book, Set Apart and Chosen, God Uses Ordinary Women to Do Extraordinary Things. Those people who are here to support you, where can they purchase the book from you?
They can go to sandrachaney.com. It's right. Okay. And it's sandrachaney.com and then / Set Apart and Chosen.
Oh, okay.
Right to the page.
Awesome. And so do you still have special gifts left? Have you sold out of your gifts?
Nope, I still have gifts that I'm going to give people. Yes. So
okay, guys. So get your gifts, get your special, your orders in for the pre-order. We only have 2 days left in the pre-order campaign, and then that goes away. Sandra's going to give you a signed autograph copy from her, and a special gift that she has picked out just for you. So you want to make sure that you go there and get the copy of your book from her in the next 2 days. 2 days.
2 days.
So Sandra, I know our time is winding down. So do you have any parting thoughts that you want to leave with the viewers?
I would say we all are set apart and chosen. It's how we view it. Seriously. It is how we view it. I'm no different than you, and you're no different than me. And I'm not I am my sister. I am not just my sister. I am her. So I want you to remember that my story is your story. And that you're not alone on this journey. And so we all win. When one wins, we all win.
Yes, that's good. When one wins, we all win. It is not a competition.
No,
it is not a race.
No,
we all win.
We all win. And so whatever God has imparted in you, deliver it into the world. Book and everything. You have a great publisher right here. Deliver.
Thank you.
Baby. Deliver it.
Yes, I am here, the midwife, here to help you push that thing out.
Yes. And so all the rest of us. that's why we're
Yes.
doing this. So
Yes.
thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So one more time, give your website just so people, it's fresh in their minds.
It's Sandra Chaney, SandraChaney.com/set apart and chosen.
Awesomeness. Well, guys, this is another edition, another amazing edition of the LPE Author Chat series in our special anthology edition with the authors from Set Apart and Chosen. God uses ordinary women to do extraordinary things. Thank you so much for joining us again this evening. We'll be back on tomorrow, of course, with another amazing author. If you are someone who is thinking about writing your book, just as Sandra said, you heard all the amazing reasons why you should. Reach out to us on www.LaBooPublishing.com. Take care and be blessed, guys. Have a great night. Bye.